I'm Robin Hungerford. The work I did at the Oxford Art Factory was called Another Hole in the Head. It consisted of me donning a kind of big paper mache head in place of my own, and playing a character who was kind of like a frustrated artist who gets increasingly violent as he's trying to find the form. I like using these lo-fi materials, and with this particular series of works, working really quickly because I know it's something that's going to be destroyed. And yeah, like it's a playful work, so it's just building quickly and not stressing about every little detail as I go along, and kind of thinking, yeah, it's kind of just an experiment with materials and the kind of fun of the mess and the fluids. I started doing this live stuff earlier on, building these little miniature sets and having live mice kind of run around these little rooms, and it was this whole kind of looking at movies and media, and that the idea that you know, you construct so much of your reality out of this this media, and you don't see who's kind of pulling the strings. It's like kind of yeah, this extra layer of theatre in there or something, and that's I'm not sure what I'm doing with it now, if I'm just expanding on that spectacle. Like it's made, the way I had it set up in the cube was basically how I would set it up in my studio. How I arrived there, I guess at the time I was looking at a lot of kind of spectacle and, you know, kind of typical art school Baudrillard kind of simulation theory and stuff, and kind of deconstructing virtual violence in this kind of really low-tech way, as a way of, I'm not sure exactly what I was trying to do with it. It's also a kind of autobiographical kind of, you know, venting of my own frustrations and things. This one in particular, it's this this artist character who, yeah, it's kind of this take on art. He's trying to find his way through art. Yeah, like setting up, I guess I was setting up this kind of riddle that's kind of, there's kind of layers of complexity on top of that, I guess. There is an element, so in my broader practice, I do tend to have do much more refined work as well, and it's always this tension of the perfectionist trying to really refine something, and then but wanting to be free of that at the same time. So this, like the playful nature of this work is just kind of throwing that out the window, which is kind of ironic because at the same time I'm looking at it in the monitor the whole time and trying to trying to get results, trying to get the blood pack kind of getting, getting frustrated when it's not hitting the thing that I want to hit up there, and that the effect isn't as instant and splattery as I want it to be. And people, I think a broad range of people do relate to it. There's some sort of catharsis to be had in the kind of switching between seeing it as a real thing and being totally just absurd and funny is, and just some sort of release in that dark humour. I think it comes from like a simple, that kind of magic, sounds like a cliche, but that kind of magic of video where you get that instant feedback and something really simple gets kind of transformed through that filter into something else, like, and it's, it's like it's spectacle, but it's anti-spectacle in that it's not this kind of $1 million visual effects that Hollywood can do. And what is it? It's something about that, when you're watching those things, about being in between the space where it's totally fake, and it's totally fake, but it's, you feel it viscerally at the same time. You can't, it's like, like the face in the vase, like seeing the vase and seeing the faces, and just switching some pleasure in that transgression that, you would be horrible if it occurred in real life, but it's just that fantasy where you can just let go. This kind of cheap extreme, trying to get to some sort of extreme point. And David Cronenberg and, at the time I was into this kind of dense theory about the body and technology and what's happening to the body, and how we're just exposing things on this kind of microscopic level, that the kind of visuals of medical technology, and just this kind of amazing level of detail. And originally the work was like a hole in the head. It was kind of reading Virilio, who is kind of like opposed to this stuff, and it's, we're exposing too much of the world and we can't go back, and this kind of idea of like, well, do you need all this stuff, or, and I'm not quite in the same mindset as that anymore, but I can't get away from this, seeing that as just really incredible, just the level of detail and everything, and how my work reflects that is something else, like with this kind of faux detail.